everybody, Jeff here, of course, and we have another one of our special little videos here. A handful of my watcher family here on my channel may be familiar with this band, and I'm sure quite a few of you may not be. So let's introduce you to a band that I have been a longtime fan of, Messenger. They have a few albums out here. See if I can do this without much glare. This is, see, look at that. Where is it at? First album, 2008. These are still available, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
And then they have a live album, 2010. And then the last one we heard from them is You Choose from 2012. And then the band went underground, and we never heard from them again. And now we have Frank here, lead singer, guitar player, and whatever else he does in the band. And here to tell us where they've been hiding. Well, actually, if you're a fan, you've probably seen they've been posting some recent singles recently. And they've been posting some singles recently. New music. So, and I've heard some stuff real briefly now. Back in like 2018, you sent me a couple songs, and they were amazing. Different change of pace, different style. I would say, the Messenger's always been a hard rockin', bluesy rockin', hard rock band. The newer stuff though has a little more edge to it. And then didn't hear anything from you for a little while, and then you pop back up. So I guess it's been slow coming, but tell us where you've been the past few years and what is on the horizon.
Well, we were having personnel changes, and we were writing. We actually went into pre-production, which is where you finish writing the songs and creating the arrangements. We did that. Started that in January of 15. We were determined that we were going to be our own studio, because up to then, for I'm Talking to You, I recorded the solos. I mean, the guitar players. I'm a rhythm guitar player. I'm the Paul Stanley in the band. I just kind of play.
Yes.
So, but the guitar players were recording the solos, and I did that. I recorded those solos for that, and so that was remote, and I was the engineer for that. And then the next album we recorded all of the tracks, all of the drums, all of the bass, all of the vocals, all of the guitars, everything. And Vlad, he creates a symphony out of 12, 14, 18 guitars per song. Tracks.
And Vlad is the guitar player for the band. Just
he is the guitar player, yes. So
lead guitar player.
The lead guitar player. Yeah. Well, now I'm playing bass now, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're a three-piece, and I'm playing the bass.
Now you played guitar though, right? I mean, it seems like every time I see pictures of you.
Yeah, I play guitar, but once we had those personnel changes, right. Once we had those changes, then I started playing the bass guitar, which actually I'm a bass guitar player more than anything else. So that fit, that worked. I was avoiding it. I didn't. I just kept going, Lord, I don't want to do that. I just want to sing, And if I have to play a little keyboard, I have to play a little guitar, I will. But I just want to sing. I just want to focus on that and try to do a good job of that. But as time went along, he had other plans for me. So now I'm playing the bass guitar and singing. And so with the pre-production done, we started recording drums at the chagrin of Vlad, our engineer. And then we went into post-production. I guess it was probably over a year after that. So now we're already into 16, 17, and all the personnel changes, trying to get new people in and so forth. And then we ran into so many difficulties with the tracks that we had. And I was just talking about this yesterday, where why didn't we just redo the tracks? Well, it wasn't easy because of the personnel changes. We already had tracks, and we just had to edit them. you know, and that's where all this time went into it, you know. I mean, believe me, we've learned a lot about what we would and wouldn't do anymore, you know, in a production. So that's like the bulk of what happened. And we started mixing, and I sent you those tracks in 18. As a matter of fact, I was just looking at that yesterday as well. When did we do these tracks and thus and so forth? And I was like, it was 2 years ago, July 4, that we finished that acoustic song I shared with you.
Oh yeah, Last Supper.
Last Supper, yeah. And I was looking at it, I said, oh, July 4, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And what happened was we ran into difficulty with the drums again. And we have just absolutely pulled our hair out. This is a wig. Just kidding. So, we pulled our hair out over the flipping drums, and just because of the way we recorded them with a machine that was very glitchy and stuff. So long story longer is we had to do a lot of replacements, and so that became a big deal. So we finally got to start mixing. It's been about a year ago. We started really going at the mixing, and you know, Vlad has done a great job of studying under the masters, and you know, taking tutorials and classes and this and that and this and that. And so that's why there's not been any music put out, you know, and it's very frustrating because I know, you know, we don't want to lose any audience, we don't want to lose any momentum.
Yeah. Time flies, you never know, and next thing you know, it's been 5 years. But yeah, back in 2018 when you sent me that time machine, I bet you I wish you had a time machine now. You could go back and fix the last couple. But yeah, I remember when you sent that, it was in my opinion was a drastic change of in for the better. I'm saying I was like, wow, this is like a different band. And then you said, oh, by the way, we got a new drummer. Nothing wrong with but I nothing wrong with the previous drummer, but it's interesting how much a difference can make with the drummer. The music was just way more intense, and I thought, wow, this is going to be great. Now you've released some other songs since then that are more on par with what I would expect from you all, but it's a really nice mix. Last Supper, you know, great song. Like you say, it's more of an acoustic song, telling a story. Very, you know, it's very beautiful, very nice. And then what you've released, I know I wrote them down here. You had, you had resent a remixed version of Time Machine. You did Blind.
That's not finished, so we're not talking about that.
Oh, okay. We won't talk about that.
No, it's finished, but it's not released. Did I say it the wrong way yet?
Right. Yeah.
We're not talking about that.
Maybe I'll sneak it in here when you're not looking and play it right now. No. Yeah.
Oh, the intro is really cool. I mean, it's a good song, yeah.
Yeah. And then Blindsided is, y'all released a video for that. And then the newer one about the Crow and the Hawk. Well, I had all these written down, but I don't want to mess up the titles, but I just did. Tell me about that. But so, okay. For those of you who are fans of the magazine, Heaven's Metal magazine, which this is kind of a co-sponsored video for, you'll realize that earlier in the month of June, Frank graced the cover and had a story in there and covered a lot of the information about the recording and all of that stuff. And so we won't go into a lot of that today unless we do. But definitely check that out, heavensmetalmagazine.com. Scroll back to around June 8th. And you'll see his pretty face there on the cover. And it was, you know, great story there. It gives you a little more details on the recording and the members and things along that line. But so, yeah, I noticed on the song, definitely more energetic. You said different drummer. Is the drummer still around? He hasn't been another member change, has he? That's fairly recent.
No, he left. That drummer that recorded
okay.
left. But the new drummer is a Berkeley grad, and he knocks it out of the park. Anything that the previous, they're both named Mike. Anything the previous did, this guy does. And Mike had he just ran into some difficulties, and he just said, I can't do it anymore. I've got to go do this, you know, tend to his family and work and stuff. So it was.
You had mentioned he was like a death metal drummer or something at some.
Yeah, that's what he called himself, a death metal drummer. Yeah. So I mean, very precise. A lot of the double kick and just a lot of notes, but his very very creative gentleman. I mean, he could come up with some amazing beats, just very original beats, just stuff you wouldn't think of. As a matter of fact, talking about beats, I challenged him. I said, what we're going to do for the Crows and the Hawk is it's a one beat song. We're going to make the song around one beat, and the challenge was for us to write that song with one beat. Michael Jackson's done it, U2, Peter Gabriel, these guys, one beat, the whole song, right? And of course, Vlad, he's like, well, I'll just write 20 guitar parts for it. It's okay. he talks about how he goes in and he'll because he knows that I care about the bass guitar tone, and the bass guitar tone in this record is far and above anything that we've done up to now. I always get frustrated with producers and engineers that just want to leave the bass guitar as a big marshmallow.
Oh yeah.
I want a voice. I want to go. I'm a Geddy Lee, Gene Simmons, Chris Squire fan. I want to hear So finally, we're having that. You're gonna hear that in this record. So, but the one beat aspect of it, I feel like we were successful. I think people like the song.
Yeah, it came off really good. Good stuff. So you all have a new single coming out this weekend. This is I'm hoping to have this up around the 4th of July. And you've got a song out on the 5th of July called July 5th, the Politician song. Tell us a little about that.
I just remember I was having a barbecue here at my house, and Vlad was creating these riffs and stuff, which is the way we write songs I feel like it's like Steve Miller. Steve Miller's like, you get your inspiration from anything. Don't just say, well, I have to write the melody first, and then I write the lyrics, and then we have this music behind it. It's not a formula at all. It's like you get inspired to start writing a song, you write that thing, And he had this riff, and I was immediately drawn to say, we're going to make a funny song about politicians. And whenever I say funny, I'm not talking Red Skelton funny.
Right.
Who knows what that reference is. But anyway.
I do.
Yeah, that's right. So, and so, but we wanted to make it funny and fun, but still, have a nice rock. And we've had some people to review it, and they love the guitar solo, and people get the idea that it's poking fun at politicians, and so that's that's what it's about.
A little satire or a little tongue-in-cheek poking fun, and yeah,
rocking out at the same time.
I guess in today's with all the stuff going on in politics, it's timely, I guess. Well, that's always the case, though. There's always something going on in politics. So
that's right. All
right, let's talk politics now. And then we'll follow that with religion. So, we'll talk about all that. Those are the two things. So what is going to be the future? And I know Doug kind of asked this in the magazine, but, so much has changed in music. I know we're going to all say that, blah, blah, blah. Are there plans? I think you had told me at one time that this was an album that was coming out in August, or it was a song that was pre-ordered and coming out in August. You've got a couple songs now, a couple singles. Are you going to try to do a whole album, or are you just going to continue this road that some bands do of releasing singles consecutively, and continuing to go that route? You had mentioned maybe wanting to get it on a CD deal or go through CD Baby, or of course I'd love to see it on vinyl, which is a big jump for a band. But what are thoughts at this point of where you'd like to see it
go? We've all along planned to release an album as a whole album, because that's what we've always done. We like that. We always have been getting good response for our studio albums, and So, but we knew that the climate had changed. We knew that the business had changed. And so it was one of the best ideas to release a bunch of singles. Now, Crows and the Hawk, we didn't release that, through the regular venues, the Spotify, the Apple Music, and all that. But if people want to get, if they want a free download of Crows and the Hawk, you just go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/messengermetal. And there's a post on there where you can just go and get it free download for that song. Watch the video. The video is on the Facebook page. We also have it on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/messengeronline. And let me say this before I forget. When it comes to July 5, please watch the video. It makes the song make more sense. I mean, you can only picture so much, it's a lyric video, just like Crows and the Hawk is a lyric video. But you can only picture so much in your head with the song. Well, it's kind of like reading the book, but then you see the movie. I like both, but there's some stuff that you won't. There's some stuff you won't see in your head. Let me say it that way.
Yeah. It's always nice to see a graphical version of what you're imagining. Because when you listen to it, you're focusing on the music and all that. You're listening to the lyrics, but you might miss something. So it's always nice to see, especially for visual learners. So
yeah. But as far as the album goes, we have actually spoken to a mid-level record company, and they said, well, when you get done with the record, it's good solid music, so when you get done with the record, let us know. We want to hear the whole thing, and we'll see what we can do together. And I'm hoping that something like that will happen on a larger scale, but I always have, and God opens the door. That's all I can say. So that's kind of what we're doing. We want to finish it. We want to release it as a whole. We want to get people to look at it as a whole, and we want to see it as a whole work, because we have the anthems, we have the ballads, we have the we have a couple of really, Time Machine being one of them, some really metal tunes on there, we just finished another metal tune. We got some heavy metal stuff, but then we have some kind of thrash metal type of stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
As well. And I would put Time Machine kind of in that category, but we have one called Messenger at Arms, which is really, it's really grinding. And I'll share that with you because we just finished mixing that one. So I think again, as a whole, we'd like the music to be listened to as so that you can hear the whole band as a whole. Not if you hear a single come out this month, and then a couple others another month, and then another one another month. You don't hear the art, as a band, and that's what whenever whenever Doug was asking in that interview about how do you see yourself as musicians on the artscape or whatever, we were saying we want to be as original and as impacting as Led Zeppelin and the Beatles, for our time. That's the way we think about music. We don't think every song has to be a double kick grinder, for the whole 12, 13 songs. We want to play this kind of song and that kind of song, but yet it's still hard rocking enough that we can say, hey, it's a Messenger song. So
yeah, all the songs I've heard are pretty diverse, so good stuff. Yeah,
I give long-winded answers. I'm sorry.
That is not a problem at all. Yeah, I can't wait. It sounds great. So you said you just mixed this other song. How many songs do you feel are pretty much in the can? You pretty much already got them. They just need to be finished up. What kind of date you thinking? How far off do you think the complete album vision may be a reality?
We are talking the end of September. But you asked me how many, so let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 are in the can. 4 to go.
Wow. So you said 12 or 13? You were right. 13, huh?
One is the reason I keep saying it's a 13-piece album, because I learned from Steve Morse of Dixie Dregs fan that you don't call an instrumental a song. It's a tune, or it's a piece, or it's an instrumental, and we have an instrumental. I don't know if you remember Special Delivery on the first album.
Right.
Andrew Rockwell of Angelic Warlord fame really liked that. He liked the longer five-minute thing, and he said that on his review. And he was kind of looking forward to that with the second album, and so we disappointed him with that. And so we said, okay, we got to do another instrumental. So, and let me say this: let the record show that Vlad basically just wrote all the parts for we're calling it Trial and Triumph, and it's just it's amazing. And I was like, Vlad, we've got to make that an instrumental. And he's like, no. I said, Vlad, we have to make this an instrumental. And so he was agreeable, and he finished it off and made it a nice piece. It's a beautiful piece. Beautiful in the most rockinest way.
Yeah. I enjoy instrumentals. I guess I never thought of it. I don't know if I differentiate between the two. I could see. It seems like a lot of bands do that. And of course, growing up throughout the 80s and stuff, it seemed like a lot of the music I listened to was just the Joe Satriani, or just nothing but instrumental. So I always just looked at it as, hey, instrumental stuff. So yeah, that was, and we listened to a lot of it and great stuff. So I'm a great air guitar player. I am a great air guitar player, and I learned from the best. So Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and all those guys. So really, so y'all are that far along there. So September then. That's good to hear. I guess just thinking about how long it's taken to get you this far, I didn't know how much longer we had to go.
You're laughing. I'm telling you, it's
yeah,
nuts. One thing after another. Some friends of ours in Pennsylvania. What was the name of their band? In the Kingdom or something like that. And they had their own studio, and it took them 2 years to make that record. Now, every time we've done a studio album, it's taken us like from spring into the fall, and we usually are ready by Christmas to release the record. That did not happen this time. So it was like, really? Another delay? You're kidding me. So yeah, it's been very frustrating, but we're very thankful that things are rolling along now, and they are rolling along. And Blindsided. Yeah. You liked Blindsided?
It was it's a good song.
Yeah, Kevin Crothers was saying how that's the air guitar's dream, or air guitarists will like it, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I went back to listen to it based on that in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, that would be good. So
I should challenge Kevin to a air guitar duo.
Do it. Use that song.
And it's funny because back in the day, I showed this in a recent video, one of my YouTube videos called "The Most Embarrassing Memories from Childhood," something along that line. That I was in an air band. It was just me and my best friend. His father built a stage eventually in his backyard. I mean, it was like 3.5 foot off the ground. It was. And I put a couple pictures in the video, but I was the air drummer. I didn't play drums at the time. I'm a clarinet player, never played guitar or drums, but I was a drummer. I had hat box tops on top of broomsticks. We had a weird looking, one of those old barrels with the, metal rim barrels made out of thick cardboard, had a fake drum set and everything. We had fun out there, but even though I was a great air guitarist, I was, I guess a good air drummer, and then eventually became a real one. But
all right. But
yeah, and in my only recording is the one album that our band put out, and we spent like 3 days in the studio and about a week to mix. So it was like one day for drums, one day for vocals, and everybody else, and then we have to mix it down. So yeah, we didn't have much time to waste. So I know. You hear stories about bands, that, and especially when they own their own studio, because then they get in there and they tinker and they tinker and they tinker, and it never gets done. It's because you don't have that pressure of, all right, you got a week to record and get out. It's
Right.
like, oh, I can do this all night, all
It's
day
so
for a night.
expensive, right? Yeah.
So
That was what always rushed us. It's like, this is costing us money. We need to get out of here.
exactly.
But the tinkering that we have done has been more along the lines of, we work on it and then we discover something that'll help us make it so much better. I mean, in a larger sense, it's not like, oh, well, let me move this bass guitar note here, and let me this guitar note's a little behind, so let's move. It's not been that. It's just been more overarching things that production notes and we've had some other professionals to give us some insights and stuff as well, but it's been the tutorials, it's been the learning about certain plugins and all these other things that have been a part of the delays, as well as the technical problems that we've had. So we haven't had, like my friends in the Kingdom, I'm trying to remember the name of this band, I'm sorry, but in PA, and they had the ceiling to leak onto their studio. Destroyed all their equipment, and so then they had to start over again. Yeah. So, but still, only 2 years. We're running on a record 5 years. So, but it's all good. We're looking at the end of September, maybe the middle of September, because again, we only have the 4 more to really mix down, and the mastering process and everything is, we've been mastering as we've gone along, so that should not take very long. And all the artwork's already ready and done. So.
Are the other 4 ones already recorded? You just haven't mixed them down, or
Yes.
still? Oh, okay. That's
Oh yeah, the recording's been done for years.
Really? Okay.
It's the post-production that's been the problem. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, the drums, the way we recorded the drums was a mess, and then we didn't have a drummer, and we had to fix it. So I was like, okay. Yeah, we couldn't just re-record, it was a big mess.
Should have called me. I could have come on and played drums for you.
I hear you.
I have been stagnant for a while, so been busy with other things. Rather be a YouTube star, which you can see is blowing up with my 300 viewers.
I like it. You got more than I have.
Yeah. It's kind of for me, and I hear this from a lot of people. For me, it's kind of an outlet. I don't care who's listening. I'm able to talk about music I love, and people listen or they don't. It's almost kind of like whatever. I guess, whenever I'm gone, 10, 20 years down the road when I'm gone, my kids, if YouTube's still around, if not, it'll be on my computer, but, my kids have a pretty big catalog of, listen to Dad ramble about weird music that we've never heard 20 years later. So, actually, I'm just rambling about music that's already 20-plus years old, so it's like they don't know who they are now, so.
No, but it's always a good product. I love watching it. I love tuning in.
It's just fun to ramble and share love of music, and that's that's what I've always been into. Is just I love it, and I don't have any friends that are on it as much as I am as far as the same level. So I don't have anybody I can really sit down and talk to about, hey, the latest this band or the latest that band. So I ramble to the internet, and they listen. So at this point, I mean, if you got anything you want to add or ramble on, I'm not sure I have more that I can think about, but you're free to tell us about anything and that we might want to know.
Well, anybody who's watching, if you have a festival or an event that you would like to have a band like ours play, we'd love to be there. What we've done is to be able to try to expand our audience is we started, and as a ministry, we started to play in different venues. We started playing in bars, restaurants, and I feel like some of the most successful that we have been is usually we're able to be ourselves at metal bars. And I say ourselves as compared to, we're playing,
lot of
James
covers.
Brown and Isley Brothers and things like that, dance music at the bars, but then we'll play our music too. I mean, that's a commitment we've made. We're not going to play anywhere unless we play our songs. But then whenever we go to these original places that are, metal bars and all these metal bands playing and stuff, we're able to play our stuff, and just our stuff for the most part. We'll throw in a cover here and there just for a crowd pleaser, but
Yeah.
But again, we're doing that to try to expand our audience. It also gives us a great chance to hone our skills, right? Helps us to be better musicians. And so, I would just say, if anybody's out there, they have an event in mind, or they have a festival they want to do or something, or they know about they own a restaurant and they want us to play, let us know. We'll do it. You can reach me at messengeronline@cox.net.
And where is the easiest place to find your music and to get it? I meant to look that up before I came on, but I actually saw somebody was selling one of your CDs on eBay. They were selling You Choose for $25. I'm like, wait a minute, but do you have like a CD Baby store or someplace on your Facebook
They
page?
stopped selling music, as I understand it.
Really?
Again, yeah, they did. They stopped selling music.
Does that mean my band is not on there?
Focused on helping musicians, get distribution through the Spotify's and the Amazon Music and the Apple Music and so forth. So, yeah, It's out there. You can find it out there at the Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify. It is difficult because there's a lot of people out there that want to call themselves Messenger. So, it's tough. But if you go to messengerrock.com, we did have it set up. I think it got erased. I was working on we have a new provider for our website, and I hit the wrong button the other day, and poof, into the cybersphere it goes. But you can write us at Messenger Online, or you can PayPal us at messengeronline@cox.net. And we can send it to you from here, absolutely. And we're going to do that. We're going to self-distribute as well after the new album comes out, and we'll set that up, on our messengerrock.com setup. Messengermetal.com takes you there as well. So messengerrock.com, messengermetal.com. So yeah, you can contact us at messengeronline@cox.net, and we'll set it up. And if you want to get some music, we'll get it to you.
Yeah, and like I said, you've got some videos on YouTube, and I guess some of the streaming services, so people can check them out. They're out there. So I was just looking to see, like I said, I was surprised I did a search and found it on eBay. I was looking for physical product to see where they might be. I did not know that about CD Baby, I guess. I mean, our CD was carried by them, but I haven't provided any CDs to them in I don't know how many years, so obviously they're not selling. I think they must have one or two left, because I got a notice a year or two ago saying they sold one.
Yeah.
I'm like, how'd you do that? I'm not even sure I gave you one recently.
Right. Yeah, I think they still have some stock of ours, but again, if I was to try to buy or send somebody to it, they don't. Those pages aren't there.
Wow.
I don't know what they're doing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I will let you go. I thank you for joining us, and it's been fun, and it's good to see you again. Haven't seen you face to face in who knows how many years. And anyway, looking forward to it. I'm loving the new stuff. I was thinking it was going to be a long time. September's not too bad. I guess I can have the patience. We'll probably still be working from home.
We're going to have July 5 comes out, and then we're going to have, I think, another one in the middle of August. And then we're not going to leave people stranded too long. If we've got to put out Time Machine between the August one and the release of the album, we'll do that too.
I was about to say, so you got another one coming out, but it's still not Time Machine. So I'm just letting you know, people. I've only heard a handful of them, and I've heard Time Machine, and should have been the first single, but I won't say that out loud. No, I really. Well, I heard that 2 years ago, so I was already impressed. So that's the one that I've had the longest. So.
Yeah. Now, did I send you the new version? I think I sent you the new version. Right?
Yes. You said. I mean, you told me some of the differences, but yes, I actually have the down. You sent me the actual download of the first version, so that's on my computer in my playlists. The other one you sent me a link to SoundCloud, so it's not physically where I can listen to it like the other one. So I still played it. So but yeah, I got you let me hear both of them and said it was a little tweaked. So
Yeah.
Good stuff. Looking forward to it. Great change of pace. Great change of I don't know. Love it. Great stuff.
That's good. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we're hoping that the bigger people catch a hold of it and say, "Oh, I think we could use this." We'll see what happens.
All right.
So,
any last words?
no, we're just thankful for everybody and then their thoughts and prayers, and we're thankful for people's interest in our music. And we do want to hear what people think about our music, what they're hearing, what they like. What the lyrics might mean to them, or I can't hear the singer. Something. Tell us something, because we want to hear. We really thrive on feedback. Especially now, it's more than just we're writing the songs. The thing rhymes. Oh yeah, it's great. It rhymes. Now it's more. How does the guitar fit with that drum fill right there? That kind of thing. How is it? What is the atmosphere like? We're on this record. We're actually able to do. My favorite song is one called "Satan's Nightmare," where I'm actually able to do some spooky stuff, which that's I'm a Peter Gabriel fan, Alice Cooper, Kiss, so this one I'm actually able to do a little spooky stuff, which is really cool. There you go, man. There you go.
My homemade paint-it-yourself coffee mug.
Oh, you did that yourself?
Yeah, one of those. Look at that, in 2014.
Nice.
One of those, you go to the places. Nice. Yeah. One of those go to the places and do it yourself. When we go down and visit her father in North Carolina, we seem to always go to the pottery place and everybody paints something. And so
That's cool.
That was my 2014 edition, and it's red inside. Look at that. Ooh, blood red.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That's very cool. I like that. And then there's this guy.
Nice.
I guess we're matching today.
All righty. Well, it's been great. And thanks a lot for joining me today. And I hope the endeavors with the new album go great. I can't wait to hear more. I'm looking forward to it. So
I'm going to ask you for a review for that August piece, though.
I'm fine with that. Send them on. I
Right.
try to not be so busy that I can't get quick enough. So.
What do we do? Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. And we will talk at you later.
And thanks to your audience. I appreciate it. You guys are great. Thanks a lot.